Welcome to 2019, everybody. My name is Amy Magnus. I'm the Director of Compliance here at A. Deringer. So, I think the question when we look forward into 2019, one of the important questions as it pertains to this particular duty is, will Canada and Mexico ultimately be relieved of this duty obligation? It's an unanswered question. We don't know. But I know that as negotiations continue, that is certainly on the table, and it's certainly something that people are looking at. Moving on. Oh, wait, while we're still on 232s, there's another issue that could emerge in 2019, and that is these additional duties will be levied against automobiles and automobile parts. Again, unanswered question. We're not going to know until mid-2019 whether or not those duties are going to go against automobiles and automobile parts. Let's talk about the 301 duties. Those are duties against one country, China. And the excuse used for those duties was an interesting one, and that is that goods coming from China are often intellectual property right violative goods. In other words, the intellectual property of the United States has been stolen by the Chinese, and they're bringing in goods and not honoring the property rights of the U.S. So the president started threatening China one at a time, and what he did was he issued a list of a bunch of things that he said, as of July, there will be 25% duty on all these products. That's what they called Tranche 1. Well, I guess the Chinese didn't do what the president wanted them to do, and so he upped the ante and he issued a list of Tranche 2. Tranche 2 was additional products coming from China, and he issued a 25% duty, and that was on August 23rd that came into effect. Well, that didn't work either, so Tranche 3 was then issued in September 24th. So you can see that incrementally he is increasing the number of items that are going to be subject to duty. Tranche 3 was 10%. And as we careened, quite frankly, towards the end of 2018, there was a threat that all the Tranche 3 items would be raised to 25%. That didn't happen. They're still at 10%. But they're, again, looking forward into 2019, will the Tranche 3 items be subject to a 25% duty rate? We don't know that yet. We're going to have to wait and see, I guess. And then there's the looming threat of Tranche 4. This is the big one. This is practically everything else that's coming in from China will be subject to a duty rate, an increased duty rate, potentially 25%. And that's apparently going to happen if the Chinese don't do whatever it is that the president expects them to do. I find all of this a little bit unusual because, oddly enough, the other number that was dominating 2018 is what we call Section 321, also fondly referred to as de minimis. If goods are valued under $800 in the country of export, they can enter the United States completely free of duty and with minimal amounts of data. What I find odd is that these de minimis shipments, or anything subject to a 321 relief, if you will, includes goods that are on the 301 list. So to put quite simply, if goods are coming in from China and they're valued at under $800 in China, because that's the country of export, they'll be subject to no duty at all, which is kind of odd when you consider the whole purpose of the 301 duties, which was the violation of intellectual property rights in the United States. It seems strange because a lot of these packages, these smaller packages and smaller value packages, are in fact possibly IPR violations. Think about things like shoes that have some kind of design on them. Those are copyrighted. Or ladies' handbags that are extremely expensive. Those are the kind of things that could be easily shipped in small packages under $800. But they don't have to pay the duties if, in fact, that is the value is under $800 in China, in the country of export. Imagine. Enforce and Protect Act. EAPA is a section of the Trade Facilitation and Trade Enforcement Act of 2019. This is a